Hi. I would just like to tell you a little story that happened to me the other day. I, and by the way, this is our private dock that we have outside of on the lake in front of my house. And I was working on the Chandler's Academy module class, and I was having a little trouble concentrating on it, and lots of things were happening. And I thought, I just have to step away and breathe some fresh air. And so I went over to the dock and I sat down and I took my journal and I went into meditation to get the description of the class, which I always just go into meditation and sort of design the class through guided writing. And I was sitting there in meditation, taking notes through guided writing, and someone came up onto the dock. And I didn't pay much attention, and I kind of opened my eyes and nodded to them, and they sat down, and it was this wonderful elderly woman. I say elderly. She looked to be, I don't know, 10 or 15 years older than me, and I know I'm ageless, so she probably is too. And I went back into my journaling, and then she asked me what my name was, and then she asked me where I was from, and did I live over here, and how long have I lived here, and where did I move here from, and how long did I live in Springfield, and where did I grow up, and what did my parents do, and at first, I have to say, then I thought, I'm working here. Can't you see this? I mean, I thought, oh my goodness, do you not see that I'm in meditation? And then I stopped and I just breathed into it and I looked over at her and I smiled and realized that this was a moment in time that the universe had set up for me. So I needed to pay attention to that. And her name is Dora. And she asked me all kinds of questions and remembered all of the answers that I gave her, even to 5 minutes after we mentioned where I grew up. She said, and how many people are there in Parsons, Kansas? Do they have schools? I know the town, it's a small town. She grew up in a small Kansas town as well. And she started talking about that. And then when I mentioned Joy, my business partner, she said, oh, what's your business? And I told her that I teach people how to be happy, and I help them find their own joy within themselves. And she said, ah, that sounds wonderful. I found mine when I was in the second grade. And I was like, okay. And I said, well, what did you find? And she was in the second grade and she was in her school. They had some speakers come in that incorporated physical education or movement and dance and music together. And she said, that's what I want to do. And she became a physical education teacher in a time when they didn't have PE teachers for girls. She actually was a part of them changing the laws in the United States. So physical education, PE, as it's called in the US, would be required for girls. Because back in the day, uh, girls were not even allowed to take PE. They had to take home ec or something like that. But she made it required and actually taught at the university level a combination of music and physical education because that was her flow. And she was absolutely inspiring and delightful with, she told me all of things that she had done in her life and how she'd, been to Washington, D.C. and was on the legislature in the decision-making process to change the requirements for young girls going to junior high, high school, and college. And I thought, and this woman is my neighbor. She lives in my subdivision, and she's shifted the consciousness of women's roles in America. And then she said, well, how old are you? And I told her that I was ageless. And she said, well, how old do you think I am? And I said, I don't know. 80, it's always a tricky question. I said, 80? And she said, she's 91. And I thought, at 91, she is still vibrant, excited, going down to the lake and watching the geese fly by, and as sharp as a tack, and inspiring others still. Because I have to tell you, after I left, my class just flowed right out of my brain, right onto the paper. And it's all about being the inspiration that you are. And Dora, who lives in Magnolia Court, is a wonderful inspiration. And I am so honored that I took the time out in my day to just sit and chat with her. I think I'll send her a bouquet of flowers just to thank her. Now she has macular degeneration and doesn't see well. She has trouble walking. One of her knees has the cartilage is not where it ought to be. And I thought, I'm just going to give you some energy work, if that's all right. And of course she said, sure, give me whatever you want. Life is amazing. We do get to take those little moments of life and breathe into them, and take the time to meet our neighbors, take the time to communicate, and take the time to enjoy this life with our gathering. So I just wanted to share this little story of inspiration, that whenever you feel like you're too busy and things are not working the way you want, step away, step outside, and allow the universe to bring you the inspiration that is yours to have. Namaste, y'all. Thanks for listening. Namaste. Have a great day.